Yeah.
Depends.
Thanks.
My answer is yes.
My answer is no.
I have generalized anxiety and a panic disorder.
I have anxiety. I have not been diagnosed because my parents don't necessarily believe in mental illnesses, even though my dad actually suffers from depression.
I have a cousin who suffering from bulimia and went through a lot. She wrote a book actually.
Mostly, I wouldn't want to talk about like some of my friends' point of view. But when I was younger, I actually suffered from the symptoms of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder.
I've struggled with anxiety since the age of 14.
3 years ago, I was forced into hospitalization for a severe eating disorder, anorexia nervosa.
My mom has dealt with this since I am 6 years old, I think. And she was hospitalized. She has depression.
I honestly think since it's not something that is like visible, I guess, like, you know, if you get a cut, you see it. I think people just don't know enough about it.
That's true. It's a lot of ignorance, and some people are just ashamed. I know when I first started feeling anxious, I didn't want to tell other people. I would just pretend that everything was okay when it was not.
And definitely in the department that we work in athletics, everyone wants to say that they're an athlete and they're strong, and to be seen as weak or to be seen that they have a mental issue is weak in their views, and so it's difficult to talk about it.
Nowadays we talk about it a lot, but it's really hard from an outside view to understand like why the person is doing these things.
When it comes to like presentations in front of the class, like I have to talk to the teacher before and tell her like, listen, I can't do this. I've tried and I just can't. And just like, I guess, I don't know, talking to people and like making sure they understand that, hey, if I run out of the classroom, it's okay. I'm fine. I'm just going out to breathe.
It affected my sleep really bad. Like I would sleep 2 to 4 hours daily because I just kept on having the flashbacks and the nightmares.
Mine is really similar. My anxiety affects me a bit more. It's really debilitating and it stops me from doing a lot of things that I wish I could be doing. And the eating disorder affects my everyday life, obviously, because there's always food. Food is everywhere. So it's always a struggle, and it's all about reminding myself why I'm fighting and why I'm going through this journey.
Social situations are hard, especially since a lot of people come up to me and tell me, but you're so approachable, you talk to everyone. Well, deep down inside, I am petrified whenever I'm like talking to people. And it's just sometimes just standing in class and the teacher just starts talking about just the materials that are ahead or any random subject, and you just start shaking. Your heart starts beating and you don't know why. You have this sudden urge to just like run away and just leave everything, go to the bathroom and just stay there.
Well, for me, it affects me in my day-to-day life. When sometimes I feel so intensely, I feel so many emotions that I just become numb, I guess, and I don't feel like I could come to school, and I feel like I can't do my schoolwork because everything's too intense, so I sort of shut down.
And especially that's your mom, I feel like I was kind of responsible for her at a certain age. I became like, kind of like I was also her mom in a way, but I love her very much. And
It's important to talk about it.
The key things for me, and maybe even for Carla, just stop being in denial and just being like, yeah, I have a problem and I'm going to accept it and I'm going to try to find help.
If you have relationships in your life, either like boyfriend, girlfriend, or a friend, and they're just bringing you down, or they don't believe necessarily in what you're going through and just in your depression, anxiety, or your mental illness just in general, separate yourself from that person.
I know with mental illness, it's like a deep, dark hole, and it can feel sometimes like you dug yourself into this hole and there's no way out. And a lot of times that's what people say, like they think that there's no hope and there's no way of getting better. But I've seen it for myself now. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and that you really aren't ever alone. Like even if you feel like people around you don't care, like there are professionals out there, there are strangers that want to help you.
Thanks to Joanna over here. She's actually the one that taught me really what anxiety was, that it actually existed. So thank you for that.
Self-love is a really long process, but once you learn it, it's something that you'll never lose, and it's something that you'll be super grateful that you've learned how to do, and it's something that I'm still learning how to do, but I learn every day. Because sometimes we're so caught up in our thoughts, self-reassurance and getting reassurance from other people can be also validating, which I wrote too. So it can validate yourself. So validate yourself can be like, I am enough, I'm worthy.
I don't know what I would do without Joanna in my life. Like, I love you. Especially like when times get really, really hard, having a good support system is all that matters. Like, a person. Stop, no.
So cute.